But it's not the first time that we've seen this kind of a fight playing out, in the sense that you have a bill passing the scrutiny of Parliament and then it's taken up in the Supreme Court. We can list out for you a series of such instances. Article 370, abrogation. 3 petitions were filed in the Supreme Court in August 2019 over this issue. What did the Supreme Court do? Well, it decided on the multiple petitions filed, upholding the decision that was taken of abrogation. It said that Article 370 was just a temporary provision. Here too, you had multiple petitions saying that abrogation is simply not possible. The Supreme Court said the abrogation is very much possible. The legality of it was questioned. The Citizenship Amendment Act, another contentious issue, and a reminder of that constantly being given to us amid the Waqf debate. 200 petitions were filed with the top court over this issue. What about the Supreme Court verdict? It's pending at this point, so we're still awaiting what the Supreme Court decides on this. But in March 2024, last year, when these petitioners also sought a stay on CAA till the court takes a decision on the matter, the Supreme Court didn't allow that, saying there will be no stay. CAA will continue as is. When we give our verdict, we give our verdict. Triple Talaq. Again, as soon as the bill was passed in 2019, you had 3 petitions being filed against this particular reform in August 2019. This was a bill, remember, that removed the concept of triple talaq. At this point, the Supreme Court is still hearing these petitions. 2019 is when the petitions were filed. At this point, the verdict is still pending. The centre has been asked to submit details of cases since enactment of the bill, because it's become an act now. There is a triple talaq essentially has been made illegal, so we'll have to see what really happens in the Supreme Court. CEC appointment bill, a very contentious issue. You had 2 petitions being filed last year on this, seeking quashing of the law. What was the law? In Parliament, essentially it was decided that the members who are a part of the board, the CGI, will not be a part of the members for CEC appointment, which is the Election Commissioner. At this point, the Supreme Court is still hearing this matter, but again, much like previously, there was a petition seeking a stay on the implementation of the new law. The Supreme Court said, no, we will not stay it. We will give our verdict whenever it happens. Now, the NJAC Act, which is the National Judicial Appointments Commission, right now in focus with what's happened with Justice Yashwant Verma. Now, this bill essentially was challenged by Supreme Court advocates on record association. So the Supreme Court advocates themselves filed this plea, saying that we can't have external bodies deciding on judicial appointments. Now, the Supreme Court here took that step of repealing the bill. The Apex Court termed the law as unconstitutional. They said that this is clearly interference in judicial matters by the executive. So interestingly, this is perhaps the only piece of legislation where you have actually seen the Supreme Court repealing the action, repealing the reform. The NJAC Act is the only one. The rest, some of them are pending. The others, the Supreme Court has upheld. The Act has upheld the reform.